all aboard the Malik Willis Express.
All right, everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk entertainment. This train is leaving the station. The Malik Willis Express is on the tracks and ready to roll. What a combine. What a combine he had. He didn't run the 40. And I understand why he didn't run the 40. He basically, you know, I mean, he didn't come out and say why. He just basically said he wants to run it at his pro day, and I understand that. But it's like the Lamar Jackson situation a couple years back. Jackson didn't run the 40 either. Why did Jackson not run the 40? Because he was worried that people were going to see his 40 time and say, well, he's got quick feet. We need to make him a wide receiver. We got to put him in the cornerback position. So he wanted to just stay with his best attributes, which would be throwing the ball. And honestly, he threw the ball well today. I didn't doubt he was going to throw the ball well. I mean, was he perfect? Of course not. But you could tell that his arm was a cut above everyone else's, especially on the deep routes. He waited. He literally waited to throw those deep routes. Because you want to know why?
Malik Willis, bringing the boom.
Malik was bringing the boomstick. He could show that he could make those deep throws in stride. It was a good combine for Malik. And, you know, and not only the fact that the feel-good story of him donating clothing to a homeless person on his way to the combine. I mean, that's just the way, it's just what the kid is. I mean, that's just who he is. And you know, I've said it a million times. What makes you a man is what you do when people aren't watching. The little things that you do. And that to me, that just sums up Malik Willis. Little worried about Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny has probably one of the tightest spirals. And I think he's got probably some of the best touch. I'm a little worried about his arm. We're a little worried about looking at those deep passes. And it's just, it's got to be a little bit concerning. You got to see what he does in his pro day. But you know what? I want to talk about Malik and the Giants, because evidently Malik was not only turning heads on the field, but off the field as well. Evidently, he said that he did. I mean, most of the league is saying that he did extremely well on his 15-minute interviews. I mean, he's just a kid that I don't know, man. He is just a kid that everyone seems to now be falling in love with. I mean, they said he's got a very blunt approach, and he's just a guy that he seems to be unflappable. And you know, like I said, if you want to look at a guy that had a good day, it's Malik. Kenny Pickett also had a little problem with his measuring of his hand. Measured at 8.5 inches from pinky to thumb, meaning he has the smallest hands of any first rounder since Michael Vick, since they've been recording the measurements back in 2001. I don't, like I said, I'm more concerned about how he can. I'm not really, I understand. You know what? Anytime you talk about someone that has small hands, I think of Tony Sacca. Tony Sacca was the quarterback over Penn State years ago. He had small hands. He had very small hands. And he went to Arizona, and he kept saying the ball was too slick. And he tried wearing gloves, and it was just the fact that his hands were too small to grip the ball, which made it a little bit more slick, he said, than when he was throwing in college. So you gotta keep an eye on that from Kenny. Like he said, you gotta see, especially when you hit in the cold weather, you gotta see what happens. But would the Giants be interested in Malik? I mean, why wouldn't you be interested in Malik after what you just saw again today and saw in the Senior Bowl, and probably what you're going to see in his pro day? It's his stock is only going to keep going up. So, I mean, even if you're not willing as the Giants organization to draft him, you have to have some expectations of maybe fielding some calls for some trades, especially in that 7 position. I don't think I'm from what I'm hearing, and I've discussed this before, I know a lot of people that live in the Detroit area, and that's where I got the whole Kenny G. That's where I got my Kenny G information. When I've told everyone that people in Detroit were not upset he was gone because he was kind of a malcontent. They probably thought he could play through the hip pointer. Blah 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 blah. I've talked to the same people, and they're pretty much saying that the Lions are in love with Malik Willis. Could they grab him at as high as 2? I don't know. I couldn't tell you I couldn't tell you if they would grab him that high. But you're just hearing so much information and so many good things about this kid that you want him to succeed. And I think organizationally, if he goes to the right place, he will. I mean, there's something special about him. And I've said it before, you know what? He just reminds me.
Gotta get to work. That's right.
Yes.
Come on. My name is Willie. Creaming. I keep the ladies creaming, and all my fans got them screaming. You can defeat me, you're dreaming.
He is Miami Sharks Willie Beeman. He is a guy that, like I said, he's electric. And I mean, it would be exciting for the fan base of the Giants if they did something different. I've said it a million times. Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. Will the Giants take a swing? When is the last time the Giants took a big swing? Made a statement. Said, you know what? Throwing caution to the wind. This kid's got the immense talent. Let's take a swing for the fences and see if we hit baby Vic Ultralight, as I've been calling him repeatedly now. Let's see what happens. Trade Daniel, pull Arizona, show the balls that the Arizona Cardinals had. Trade your quarterback in Daniel Jones like they did with Josh Rosen. Drafted Kyler Murray. Do the same thing with Malik Willis. Just move on from him. Daniel Jones, that is. Bring in a stopgap like Mitchell Trubisky. Draft Malik Willis. And see what happens. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you, Giant fans, you're not going to be disappointed. There is I have said it before, and I'm going to say it again. There's just something about Malik. There's just something there, and I've been watching him since Auburn. There is something there about this kid. There's an intangible. If he is put in the right situation, in a Brian Dable situation, and they run a Josh Allen type offense, he can more than run it. And he's going to be more than capable. And I think the Giant fan needs to get on board and needs to get excited about this kid. Because you know what? He's got to make a stop. The Malik Willis Express has got to make a stop.
It's Daniel Jones at the 5.
Whoops. That was two. He's got to make a
Malik
stop.
Willis Express.
At MetLife. Sorry, still working out the new soundboard. I don't have all the buttons labeled yet. But he's got to. I mean, come on, Shane. Do something different. We're going to have our stream, I don't know if on Friday, but we'll have a stream on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going to be going through the online Big Blue top 51 NFL prospects. If you're an OG member, you can actually go see those in the comment section of the OG comment section only. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. The draft, everything else. I am pumped, and football is starting again. This time with online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk entertainment. And as always, if you could like, subscribe, ring that bell, you know what it means. That'd be awesome.